The ones that haven't got the coach.
Yeah, when you have an option to
Tough,
get one.
go and get one.
Yeah, let's go get one. Yeah, exactly.
Professional, you want to play professional reserve at the top end? Go and get a coach.
Yep. So EG is first pick now, so Mineski decides to remove the strongest green hero in the game.
Oh yeah, it is good to point out. That's a good point that EG is now playing Dire. I mean, of course, because Mineski takes
Do you actually
priority.
like Dire more than Radiant?
No, I like Radiant
I
more.
like Radiant more
Me too, me too. But like
and
EG just lost on Radiant.
Starladder was 21 to 10 in victories on.
I don't know why, but I
Radiant.
feel better on Radiant.
We were curious, so I went and walked around and asked a bunch of the players, and everybody was just like, it's more comfortable.
I feel better.
And we're like, is there any other reason? It's just like, maybe the mid.
So here's
space, but
this is scientific. I don't know whether you're aware of this, Winter, but it's scientifically proven that some players play better left to right on the screen or up down.
Yep.
Rather than down up. So there could be some science in this that actually says, well, they prefer going up.
So Radiant is imbalanced scientifically.
Maybe scientifically it's imbalanced. Ice Frog, go and fix it. I don't know. That's another question. Another good debate to have at some point. We should do a show or something.
Could we got to get some neurologist in here, kind of explain it to us probably.
For someone, a science advisor of some kind on Dota 2. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That's the next level. Get data analyzers, get coaches, get scientists.
Yeah, well, they have like sports psychologists and
Absolutely.
stuff too, right?
Absolutely. So. Nothing wrong with a scientist. They're all over football right now as well. Right, anyway, back to the draft. Bans have been done.
Is left in the pool. Yep.
Is EG gonna snag it up?
Spirit Breaker for them, probably. Oh, they should actually just stick with the
They
Pugna.
stick. So Mineski is gonna pick NS and EG is gonna pick Spirit Breaker. Is that how it's gonna go?
Yeah, more than likely. NS and...
Well, they have no reason to go away from that, do they?
NS Jakiro, NS Silencer. I think I like NS Jakiro. Or they're gonna go for like a Puck plus NS. Mirana.
They've done that before. I like that. I like the NS Puck a lot, honestly. I really like Puck versus Pugna as well. Just having that burst, having that gap closer. NS.
This is one of the big time favorite supports because it allows them to snowball, win the lanes, pressure, limit the vision. Just an overall very good hero for them.
But Fear not banning that and knowing he leaves it in
means
he knows that they go in there, so he's prepared for this.
Very similar to Secret's approach, they do always tend to give away the NS and pick the Spirit Breaker as a response to that. I think a lot of the good teams actually do this kind of thing where they leave certain specific hero open so that they can actually counter pick it, or they think that they can deal with it, because you can't ban everything. You have to choose what you're going to go up against. So NS Silencer, like we discussed in the previous game, Silencer really good against the Pugna. And now EG responds with the Spirit Breaker for dealing with the Night Stalker in the early game.
They really like the Silencer versus the Pugna. They did it versus Na'Vi. They've done it twice here now too.
So I guess same bans right now.
They're gonna take out the Pug for sure from EG. Yeah, they do.
So replacement probably Ember Spirit, I guess.
Yeah, Ember is pretty solid versus both Spirit Breaker and Pugna.
Yeah, Brute still open. I guess if you're EG, you're probably less worried about dealing with a Brute compared to Mineski's first two heroes.
I mean, Spirit Breaker, Pugna are pretty good generally versus Broodmother.
Yeah, we actually saw earlier today how, it was EG. They actually lane Pugna against Brute 1v1. It actually worked out really well for them.
I was like casting that one. I was like, oh, they don't have the best hero versus Brood. And as soon as I said, I'm like, wait, what am I talking about? They have Pugna and Necro, two of the actual heroes that can deal versus the Brood in the laning phase. So they ban out the Bat and the Puck, two of these heavy magic damage heroes, and catch Silencer.
Bat Rider Silencer with NS, classic combination.
Yep.
Very strong.
Bloodseeker again taken out, that combo Bloodseeker Pugna you see so often.
So right now for Mineski, they're definitely going to need more initiating heroes. We talked about the Ember because of the Spirit Breaker, very difficult for him to charge him. If it's a mid Ember, you can't pressure.
Do they go Visage here this game?
Oh yeah, Visage is also available. Yeah, that will be possible for them too. Visage and Ember. Yeah, I actually kind of like both of those two for them.
Okay, that's a little bit more.
It's still like a pick where this
hero.
is what we call like a filler. What I call a filler pick. You pick a hero that can be multiple carry or mid, and then you get to see one more pick from the opponent before you decide the next more important heroes. You know, because you are at the fourth pick next, which is something that you want to pick that can counter specific heroes on the enemy team.
So Moon or Nana plays what? Mirana, Puck, and Tinker. I think majority of the times.
And Ember Spirit.
And Ember,
those four
so
heroes.
those four are the big four for him.
And Mushi plays a lot of Venge recently. Venge, Medusa, Mirana.
I like that Venge Mirana Visage core that they've
Yeah.
run. I've seen them run it multiple times. It's very, very potent.
And they have NS this game. I actually like the Visage a lot for them this time because
Mm-hmm.
their lanes are going to be really good. And they go back for the Jakiro. Jakiro, Pugna, a lot of push, strong lanes. Like you don't want like a weak position 5 hero against NS, otherwise you're going to just get bullied a lot.
And it still kind of hides what EG wants to
Yeah,
do. We don't know exactly
they
what the
could run
wars
it
are.
mid
rules
again.
Yeah, and Jakiro is pretty good against Visage.
Didn't look great earlier, but it was the different matchup. It was the Bloodseeker.
We're still liking that Visage though from Mineski. I'm trying to think of other heroes. I'm kind of locked
I
on
think
that one for now.
I
but
think perfect 5 heroes right now for them. Oh, they still go.
they
back
actually still go for clock.
Wow.
I
because
guess it
of
is a
the-
great clock
because
game.
of the
Yeah.
Jakiro and
Yeah.
Jakiro and the Pugna.
Mhm.
So it will be a off-lane Night Stalker for this team, I think, because Chaps will
Yeah.
probably play Clockwork again.
I like having the. They're actually wanting like a full initiator as well with the silencer because they didn't really have that till that point either. EG goes quick for the Necro.
When one green hero doesn't work, two.
That'll be Moon's Necro.
Or you mean that's for EG, dude?
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
It won't be Moon's Necro.
Okay, so what last picks then? They already have a Diffuser hero. And Clockwork's pretty good against Necro. Even like NS the Silence as well. Pretty good against Necro.
What's the Mushi hero?
Bushi and D mate.
Do they go AM? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think I actually feel the AM Bloodseeker's ban out.
I think that EVG's gonna ban it. At least the anti-mage having two int
so
cores.
he's not gonna get the AM, so what?
Does he still go for the Venge?
The Venge, I guess. Not sure. I think AM is really good, but like you said, I doubt he'll actually get it.
Yeah. They even ban out the Brood on the side of Mineski. Venge makes their lineup a bit single
Yeah, because
target.
Brood is really good against Silencer and NS early, and it could be a uni hero.
Yeah. We still aren't 100% sure, yeah.
The Necro.
Sorry?
What about the Necro?
I think Necro could be either Sumio or Arteezy.
They ban the
Or
Venge
Universe.
and
Venge.
they take the AM themselves.
Right.
Oh.
So we're gonna see like some Morphling, Alchemist. Those are the two common heroes against AM. Not sure.
They struggled with the Alchemist the last time they picked it versus an AM versus
Yeah.
Liquid. Really hardcore.
But it could work here though. I still like the Alchemist against AM matchup. Because you farm faster than him, you try to end the game at specific timing. And looking at their other 4 heroes, those 4 heroes are really good with the Aghanims upgrade from Alchemist. I like Alchemist here. The other pick is like Morphling, which I'm not so sure.
Man, seeing Pugna Necro is on the same team is so terrifying. Just reminding me of the game from earlier today.
Lots of green.
Yeah,
And I don't like Medusa here, so I
not a fan of Medusa.
don't think Mushi would have any other good options here. I think he will probably play the... If they pick Alchemist, he'll play the Mirana. And Nana's gonna play the Alchemist. That probably is how they will run it. But do you think there's any other picks that are good here?
I'm trying to think about
What-
it.
what
I'm
does
even looking
Sumail
at like
play
a
in
lot of
that
the
lineup,
recent
by the way?
stuff.
Sumir's probably the Necro.
Do you think he's the Necro?
Yeah,
You
Arteezy.
don't think he will go Jakiro and they put Necro on Uni?
Whoa, they picked PL there.
PL's not bad, but I'm not very sure about the PL in general against AM.
And
Okay.
Pugna. Pugna's very good versus PL.
PL can work, but it's not feeling it.
Alright.
Actually,
I'm going for
So yeah, you're right.
EG.
They've gone. So Sumail has gone for the Necro. Yep.
I'm gonna go for EG this time
Yeah?
again, stubbornly.
Why?
No, I think this time around they've got a much more well-rounded draft, and they've got the late game, they've got mid-game secured as well.
Okay, so former EG player goes for EG again.
Nice one, yeah, great, good.
I don't
Very
think
original.
I don't think Mushi's Mushi's a PL player.
You don't think Mushi's a PL player?
I don't like the AM versus PL matchup. Like
Yeah,
PL, I think suffers so much.
I just don't like it, man. So I'm on board with him.
We're cursing it.
What's that face? What's wrong?
What do I do? We asked for experts. We got these two. Just it's just a prediction. That's all it is. That's all they got to do. Leaves me with only one thing to say: save me, Toby1.
I'm definitely not saving you, Paul. The panel is 100% right. I actually saw Malini have some almost like It was almost a physical extraction from his throat.
It's okay here.
When he saw the PL.
There weren't any good picks, though. I think this is one of the few instances where I'm like, wow, this 9th pick was actually really good, and it kind of blocked the 10th. And you're like, the 10th pick was not great for them because I think they wanted AM, but AM or PL is at least a defusal carrier, so he has that going for him. But he does not provide a good matchup versus AM at all.
No,
and
that seemed rough. But like, what was your better option? Like Alchemist was the only one which like went to really through and that you liked.
I think it's Alchemist or PL. PL at least has a magic resistance talent that is, I think, very important. So you don't get to Crab Reaver and just die. But it's still very difficult for them, and it makes our team fight really weak. Like they have global silence, but so what?
Yeah, buy some time for Mushi to create more Mushis. Like that's kind of it.
It's also Mushi playing the PL.
Yep.
Mushi plays a lot of heroes, but not all Mushi heroes were created equal. He plays a really good Veno. I think that's like one of his top tier. His Veno is, or sorry, his PL is middling. I would say.
So on a scale of Veno to Medusa with Lincolns and Manta, how would you rate Mushi's PL?
Not that bad with Lincolns and Manta. But, okay, I think one of his worst heroes is Ember Spirit. If you watch him play Ember, it's like, oh my god, he does not play Ember Spirit.
All right.
So, I mean, PL's like, he's probably like a 6. If 10 out of 10 is his Veno and 1 out of 10 is his Ember.
Okay.
And 3 out of 10 is Medusa, if I had to put a number on it.
Should also flag the fact, too, we're having a 3-position Night Stalker in this game. Not a surprise after Jab's performance in Game 1 with his clockwork. It was amazing rotations, but a Night Stalker 3-position. What do you actually think about when you think about like item build changes as well as timing changes when you push a Night Stalker into that off-lane core role?
You don't know with Ice as Ice. He goes weird builds sometimes.
All right, well, I'll come back to it in like 10 minutes time then.
I don't know what you want to get this game. Like, you don't really want to take it late because AM destroys your entire team, but you also don't really want to, like, not buy a Midas, I would say, because you're not going to be able to push high ground very early. So I guess you have to take it late and buy Midas and then play it from there.
That seems to be a lot of waiting with items from both sides. Like the PL's going to take time to come online. I suppose the Mirana with rotations and Arrow can still do a good job.
Yeah, you actually want the Silencer to get a lot of farm in this game. I think Silencer really needs like a Glimmer Cape. Is going to be huge for him.
Well, at the moment he's tasked with trying to zone out Universe. That's his primary goal, while Moon dropping Samel down very low. In fact, both mid-heroes are near death. Oh, the salve. He came in too close, and Moon just gets that one attack in. That's problematic. And that wasn't a fresh one coming in either. That was a couple of stat items for Samel.
I guess at least the Mirana doesn't have a salve. So that
I hate to tell you, man, there's a salve as well as a clarity coming on the courier. But Crit starts his charge too far into the tower. So with clarity and salve will start burning.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Death Pulse regen too, so not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool that he did not go for Leap at level 2 though. I see Leap most of the time, but he was somewhat close to getting killed with Starstorm.
Well, Moon, unless your Starstorm going off again. And Samel 10-4 against the 5-2, so Samel does have the edge on the CS, even though there isn't like half an extra creep wave for Moon to farm up in front of him. So Mushi starting his harassment as well on bottom lane. While he's out, Ninja Boogie's using the double damage rune just to hold and deny up his own lane. Problematic for Universe to stand in the lane against that. Clockwork's also looking for an opportunity up on top lane. Gonna close the distance, able to get the cogs onto Jakiro. Fear, gonna dual breath onto both Night Stalker as well as Clockwork, while Spirit Breaker begins his charge forward. Fear is low, they can't really move much further forward. Narteezy burning off as much mana as he possibly can. Cogs off cooldown in 2 seconds, 1 second, and he's just got enough to push back Fear, but he's locked in with Arteezy, who will claim first blood up on the top lane, and there was nothing Ice could have done to really help him.
Level 1 dual breath too strong. I mean, Jakiro is actually one of the strongest heroes of level 1. We used to joke that he's ranged ogre, which is kind of true.
Yeah. Isn't he actually, like, I don't know if it's still true, but he used to have the highest strength gain of any support hero in the game.
I don't know. He has 2.6. This is pretty ridiculously good.
No. 700 HP at level 1 with no items.
Yeah, that is incredibly high.
Beautiful for him. So early on, there's a lot of denies in the bottom lane. This is the one upside. The fact that Universe is sitting at level 3. Ice is at the same.
Damn, that's a lot of denies. 15?
Yeah, he's really holding that bottom lane back. Waiting for actually his big item as well. Because like, how do you build it with the Phantom Lancer? Like, do you try and get early aggression items?
There's two different styles. One is a tank, and one is a split push. Split push is like BOTs into whatever's, and the other ones is like treads into maybe like drums Yasha diffusal, some variation of that. So depends on which way he wants to go. I think a lot of it depends on how well the AM's doing, too.
Well, right now Arteezy has just as many last hits as him, or pretty damn close anyway. Doesn't have anywhere near as many denies, but still.
And how well the Necro's doing. Like, if the Necro's doing very poorly, you can just get like a diffusal and just kill him over and over so he never really gets into the game. But if Necro gets out of hand, you're going to have to go a more farm-oriented build.
Jabs is trying to make the most of this Invis rune. Coming in around behind Samel. Still got the creep wave there. Fear does TP in as well, but Samel's in very close to Tier 1 tower. So Jab starts off with the cogs. He'll get an instant arrow into Samel. Almost impossible to dodge that one. Crit starts his charge forward, but it cannot create enough space for Samel to get off the Death Pulse.
That was so close to him getting Death Pulse off. He also had a stick and a salve. I don't think there was any way for them to disable the salve during Ghost Shroud, so whew, that would have been really close with them.
Universe is harassing Ninja Boogie out. Decrepify plus Blast. Heavy amounts of damage. Ninja Boogie actually lost 50% of his HP because of that. Well, they run in again towards mid. This time it's not Mineski initiating, it's Crit. Charging forward as the Spirit Breaker.
Got that clarity.
Yeah, value cancel, but now 5 minutes hit, so both Jabs and Moon will burn the Shrine. And looks like Fear and Crit will do the same. Advantage of being Necro and mid, you don't need that Shrine. Overall net worth is still going the way of Arteezy. And the Radiant Creep Wave got pulled over. But he got the early ring. He is going to look to complete up his treads before he goes for the Battle Fury.
Standard.
Yeah.
Mushi going for Soul Ring. See that pretty often too. On that safe lane. Nothing terribly special here. Yeah, I really do think Ninja Boogie needs more farm though, or else like AM's just gonna chomp him up so easily.
Yeah.
And he's also just gonna die to like Pugna War too. His spells are relatively expensive.
Well, maybe when the Mirana starts roaming, you can just push the Silencer into the mid. Dangerous when the Spirit Breaker is charging around and he is now moving towards that top lane. Cannot commit in. Ice saw him coming with the Observer Ward around the top rune area. Both sides have good vision on that area.
Uh-oh. Itemizing for Cloak already, because they have crap physical damage. Unless Mirana gets a lot of farm, but even so, it's not terribly easy for her.
Jabs is doing Jab things again. He's sniping out the bounty runes while the Jakiro as well as SB is gravitating towards that top lane. Now, even with this charge forward, I don't see Crit finding a kill. Because this can be done so easy for Ice. Just turn around, void him. We are during nighttime phase as well. Not a lot of mana, but then consume the mango. A quick void. Ice pushing the issue. Goes to the Hunter of the Night. He needs the movement speed. 24 HP. Crit drop down to. He'll turn around. Goes for the charge. And Night Stalker doesn't have the mana. Ice pushing the envelope.
If he had his phase boots, he would have gotten that kill.
But he did not. And that means EG able to get the offlaner of Mineski underneath their own Tier 1 tower, looking for some revenge. A quick TP out to Pugna. Decrepifies TP smartly. Jabs causing issues in the mid. Once again, the cogs trapping in Samel. A quick void. Where's that arrow to fly? Samel just Ghost Shrouding for the moment. You don't have that arrow available. Starfall's up. There's your lead into the Starfall. Moon will claim that one. And Samel goes down now for the second time in the game.
Yeah, big kill for them, but AM is still getting relatively large. They also, I mean, they have some silences, but once he gets Manta style, they don't really have a solution for him. It looks like he's pretty good in his quest to get a pretty early Battle Fury. I don't really see anything stopping him that well. It's going to be daytime pretty soon, so they don't have to worry about Night Stalker.
Moon needs to leap himself further away. He's got support. It's going to be the Clockwork crit. Oh, he's got more than enough movement speed. Having both boots as well as Windlace. Easy escape.
Yeah, a lot of boots Windlace in this game. So now is about the time where things might start happening for EG and for Mineski. Like Mineski, they need you kind of just accept the fact that AM's going to get farmed now because Night Stalker died twice, or they had 2 deaths up in the top lane, so that's not going well. You just say okay, we'll deal with them later because they can't do anything about it now, and both teams are going to try and group up, and Mineski's going to try and take advantage of the 5v4, and EG are just going to try and just do minor things, like loosely creating space so that AM can do his thing. But really, they need to protect Necro because Necro's been dying a fair amount. And like you need to group up so you can protect your Pugna in case he wants to start sieging some towers. So they really need to make good use of this 5v4 time. And PL can trade farm with AM, but you don't really want to. You don't have any good like super farm accelerators. Soul Ring's like okay, but you're not getting Battle Fury, you're not getting Maelstrom, and that's pretty much the only 2 items that melee.
They're going to go on the bottom lane. Mushi on the hit the
TP,
land
though.
says, well, yeah, there is that TP.
Yeah, so
At least force him all the way back to base, and Mushi is instantly TPing top after the attack, picks up the Ring of Aquila where the courier was waiting for
where
it.
was the Soul Ring usage, man?
Well, it's going to happen at least. So it does actually work in the way you said. So now you're going to get farm and space for silence, and Ninja Buki has the bottom lane all to himself.
He really needs farm. I really have to emphasize like how much farm he needs, especially relative to other games where he's just dirt poor. Like he will just get trashed later if he's gonna still sit at 780 net worth. Well, he just got 2 creeps, so.
This does feel like 2 minutes too early though. Like you do this rotation 2 minutes before the nighttime, so ISIS moves off the top lane. He's looking to hunt the mid, but there's no darkness available. Jabs need to close the distance here. Void will help. Remember, it's still nighttime. There's a lot of one charges. Arrow flies forward. Samel still wants the illusion rune, and he will be able to claim it as he turns his attention towards ISIS. Crit, charge forward. A Void will cancel that one. Fear does have the ice plant to hold him there. They've almost got the sight, and here it comes onto the Night Stalker, but it's not enough damage. Raindrops and stick. He'll survive, but will it be enough? 4 HP. The door breath from Fear will reach him. The liquid fire wasn't going to tick him out, thanks to the 4 HP he still had.
That cog actually blocked ice in a little bit. Well, at least they didn't lose Ninja Boogie on bottom. He almost died to RTZ coming in on bottom.
Well, Jabs is looking to rotate over. Moon! 5 seconds, count them all. You can decrepify for the Cogs pushback. Damn. And the battery assault damage will be enough.
That was a huge arrow from him.
Oh,
He was
never
really
saw
close
that
to getting
coming.
Battle Fury too. Like he was at like 500 gold and he just needed his broadsword. Just 1 more minute of farming, I think would have been good. Well, the thing is he didn't actually need a TP away from top lane because he could have just farmed up there, but they want to prioritize some more farm on the supports. Maybe Jakiro getting a little bit of farm up there and maybe thinking that they could have gotten a kill on Ninja Boogie, but Ninja Boogie has evaded a lot of deaths. He's like that cat that has too many lives.
Now he's got his global silence available. If only he could have the mana to use it, but
it's just important that he gets levels over here. He and probably that GPM talent coming later in the game.
Oh, they're going to kill bottom.
Yeah,
The
Universe is in a
Observer
pretty good spot.
The
though.
Observer Ward vision's perfect, but it's the fact that Jabs has hook shot available, so the level 6 is currently on the Clockwork. Can see Crypt moving back.
Yeah, they're not really seeing anyone though.
Well,
Everyone's
they're pinging. They know this vision. They actually just leave. They're checking to see where Arteezy is with the rocket.
well, no one has 4 stabs this early in the game, so everyone's a pretty easy kill aside from RTZ, unless he gets 5-second arrowed again.
Chance that that's low. But Jabs is causing some problems and going to take some of the creeps from him. And Arteezy is scared enough to blink all the way up to the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, because it's not a good time for him to farm neutrals. Like you want to have your battle fury at this time when you're farming neutrals, but it's still a little bit slow. Ice gets charged up in mid, but ooh, nice attempt at an arrow there. I wouldn't say these arrows from Nana are pretty spot on. Yeah. He doesn't get that much farm in these games, but his arrows have been A+.
It's always so early that Mineski is able to pick up that urn. Obviously, you're getting it on the off laner this time around.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get that many kills with it, though. Like, EG are playing a pretty good keep-away game.
Well, they're about to run down to bottom, and Universe has no way out of this one apart from a straight-up TP. There's your global silence from Ninja Boogie. Arrow flies forward, and Ninja Boogie just wants out. He'll be able to succeed with this, but now goes all the way back home. Universe will die at the Starfall, so +2 charges. Unfortunately, there's no +2 for Ninja Boogie.
And it looks like Phantom Laser will be going for the BOTs first.
Now they're battling it out in mid too. Clockwork Cogs pushing Fear the wrong side of the tracks. He's running back in again, but he knows he cannot survive. A quick lands up the hill with a point-blank range hook shot. It will be enough to hold Samael in position.
Dude,
EG losing 3 heroes in the space of 30 seconds.
He is such a boss. He double-cogged the Necrophos and pushed back the Twin Head Dragon into the lane. Like, that was ridiculous. And he was also high enough HP. Like, he didn't have any items, but he was still able to avoid that critical Reaper territory as well. And this is with a Veil already on Necrophos, so that Reaper territory is going to be a little bit higher. And you have to Crep, so it's going to be tough for him. They probably needs a pipe at some point, and he actually is going for a Blade Mail a little bit early on. Blade Mail, I'm not as big a fan of just because there's a lot of heal. Like, Pugna doesn't really care too much about Blade Mail. Necrophos, I mean, he can just heal it all back up if he gets the Reaper kill, but Jabs knows what's up.
Yeah, it's keeping the pressure on more than anything else. And I suppose, like, if this game does go late, the combination of EG will be able to get a pick off when Mineski force high ground. And how do you even force high ground? Like, their lineup, unless the Mirana's got heavy damage?
Yeah, you get fat on Mirana. Mirana's probably going to get fat too, because Spirit Breaker hasn't been terribly effective in the ganks, and he's kind of the only one that can kill the Mirana right now. Like, they don't have great disables. Maybe if Twin Head gets Yules, but that is not happening from Fear. He's a position 5.
You would still think, though, a hero who is 4 kills up would be higher in net worth than both the Necro and the Anti-Mage. Netherstrike, not going to work. He's actually at 4.6k to the 4.3, 4.5k of the EG cores.
Yeah, that's decent. Like, Mirana is not a super great laner. She's good at not dying, but in terms of getting last hits, her base damage is extremely low. So Phantom Lancer did take at least the attack speed talent, thank God.
Stalker, trouble, but then again, maybe not so much. Global Silence will buy space for Ice to run away. Moonlight Shadow has been triggered, but then again, so is Dust from Evil Geniuses, and they want to fight. Spirit Breaker, wrong side. The arrow is going to be perfect from Moon.
Do you see these global silences?
Oh, he's actually in. Jabs. He already found an opening. He hasn't even used Hookshot to get this. They've isolated Fear. Ice looking for another kill, so will allow Moon to pick up the pieces. Fear will fall down. Samel wants to run out of this one. The curse is out. Jabs has the Hookshot available, and he'll hit the money. A follow-up arrow, and there goes Samel. A little bit dumber for the experiences. Now Ninja Boogie has +8 on the stolen intelligence.
They're constantly underestimating the global silence. Like, every single time they go in for a kill, boom, global silence. And, oh, nice deny.
Denied! Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, maybe not. Dodging the attack from Crit. Nether Strike's right. Mushi trying to out-mind game them by microing the illusion out, but EG do not fall for it. But then again, Mushi, here we go again. Which one do they go for? They go for the real one and the fake one. Either way, thanks to the cleave that Arteezy has with the Battle Fury, they can work it out, and Mushi will die.
Still got a tower.
Yeah, even though it was denied, small victories. The consolation prize once more.
Attack speed is way better, though. I really dislike that Spirit Lance damage talent, because attack speed is just... Like, Spirit Lance damage is okay, but it's only good if you get Scepter, and even if you get Scepter, it's kind of mediocre. I think 20 attack speed just scales way better all game, because you kind of just want to make as many illusions as possible. And attack speed, now that it transfers to illusions, I think is just far superior, especially when you're just not really fighting. It helps you farm a lot faster.
They're going to fight mid.
And push towers down.
Hook shots available. They can see him from behind. The hook shots out to the Pugna. The arrow is perfect. Universe won't be able to get anything off in this fight. And Crit dropped so low, he copped the full Starfall, and they're moving in deeper once more. The Lance out into Fear. Mushi jumping over the top of the ice path.
Jabs. Jabs. What a great position 4 he's been playing.
Oh, Crit's just trying to sacrifice for the glory of Samael. He charges forward to create space, but I don't think don't think that was really going to change the outcome of this fight.
Nope.
Tier 2 tower's going to fall as well. Moon had the double damage rune. The crazy thing is what led up to that fight was Moon walking over the top of an observer ward into the tree line, and EG didn't react.
Well, they think that it's a really good time to push. It's been daytime, and they still need more time on Anti-Mage. So Anti-Mage eats up like half their map. Like he just eats up so much farm because he's an Anti-Mage. He can blink around and farm so many creeps. So naturally they want to push with Pugna because there's still a lot of T1s up and it's daytime and they want to group up because that's what their line was kind of meant to do. 4-on-5, get some ideally free towers, but Mineski, they're really swift to the punch. They've been pretty decent at just farming and being there at the same time. A lot of it, I would say, due to the BOTs by the Phantom Lancer, and I think mostly because of Ninja Boogie being able to prevent a lot of kills from EG with the great use of Global. I really think his Global timing has been extremely on point and preventing EG from getting any more than they should in this early game.
Yeah, that's the reason why they sit there with only 4 kills. But 2 of them have gone to the Anti-Mage, and we have to keep this in mind while we're talking about just how potentially weak Mineski's high ground push is going to be. There's so much clearance from EG. Even if you're just macro pyring down waves, you've got Blast, you've got Death Pulse, you've got some decent clearance from EG. And if Mineski overcommit, then they lose a hero for a long time to the Reaper's side. So they can create space even in high ground defense for Arteezy to get bigger, and he's 8.7k net worth and increasing. And it's only going to get bigger with his Battle Fury.
He might get to that point where he can like kind of take them in a fight, but you still one of the problems with AM is you sometimes peak too early, and you need everyone else. You need to be able to spread the farm out equally. But at the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get like a fat Necrophos on his team too. So yeah, Phantom Lancer went for a farming build. He's keeping up decently in net worth, which is pretty impressive, I would say, as a Phantom Lancer versus a Battle Fury AM. But it should start to widen a little bit. The gap right now is about 1k. Maybe it'll be like 3, 4k a few minutes, 10 minutes down the line if neither hero dies. But Arteezy, I would say, has a much higher risk of dying because of the Night Stalker in the game. He doesn't have Manta Stop.
Samantha's dead. Perfect hook shot. He slices right down the middle of the creep wave, hitting Samael. Night Stalker was already running in from behind. The global silence. Maybe a little bit later in case EG was going to stick around, but then again, Ice still looking to push the issue, but they're just going to push the mid. That'll work too, and there's the back row pyre for the D push.
So when this happens, when you're just farming out with the Anti-Mage, you cannot afford to lose your Necrophos over and over and over again. He built defensively too, is the thing with the hood. He's not like
0 for 5.
Yeah, and they have 2 defusals. Mushi, I believe, has completed his. No, not yet, but he almost has it.
There's one on Moon.
And, yeah, Moon has a defusal. So like Necrophos is not in a good spot to survive. Maybe like a defensive Decrep into a Ghost Shroud into another defensive Decrepify might save him, but even then they have like...
There's your second. It just flew on the curry to Mushi.
It's not looking good for Necrophos. I think the AM's happy, but Necrophos, he's in a sticky spot.
Yeah. And Mineski now, they understand too exactly what they have to watch. This almost feels like a Mortal's warding game of from their series yesterday, where the wards are watching exactly how EG can recover. So they're watching the jungle areas. There's 3 perfect wards down, as we've just shown that Mineski have. So they know every single time where Arteezy is farming. And the only way Arteezy can avoid this is by crossing the river. Is the only way to really do it. But then you go into Mineski territory. The rocket flies forward. They're looking for a target and they just won't find it. EG have already smoked up, missed their target, and they've come all the way back with a loop around top lane.
They do dodge the gank. So Mineski's actually got a nice...
Yeah, close to crit. They want Arteezy. Rocket gives good vision. Where's that hook shot? And the target, there it is. Perfectly onto Universe. Arrow flies forward, and it actually pushes into crit. 5 seconds done on him. The scythe will drop. So jabs will fall and Samel gets a much needed kill. While Crit will be able to charge away. Mushi lands on cooldown. He can't kill Crit, but if Crit keeps going this way, he'll end up dying to the creeps, but yeah, he'll pull out. And has a TP available to go home. He'll take the bounty rune first, however.
Still really close. I think if Mushi had max Phantom Rush, you actually probably just right-clicked him down. It would have been pretty close. So still pretty good fight. Like, they're not afraid to walk up to that shrine in EG. They just cannot find any good like positioning too, because AM's not quite ready to fight.
Samael got a full pipe now completed thanks to that money. He's still short of buyback, short by about 500 gold. But if Arteezy can keep dodging this, very close to his own Mandacell, so some team fight items that EG can use to at least stop Mineski having all the power. And EG, they want to initiate. Ice Ice Ice, however, he just jumps over the hill with Hunter in the Night.
This is actually one of the least greedy I've seen Ice 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 build, like, ever. Like,
Aura,
phase, yeah. Aura, Earn, and BKB next? Is this even Ice Ice Ice?
Oh, Arteezy's got to get the hell out of here right now. Hook shot forward once again. Exact same place. Global Silence is out, but the Four Stars, they're kiting it out nicely. Jabs the cogs, locking in Universe. Not really a lot he can do there. And Fear wants to help commit. The Ice Path is good as Arteezy finds the kill onto Jabs. Moon visible on the backlines, coming out the Moonlight Shadow. But now the Diffuser Blaze, they're burning off the mana. The side can't get the kill, but at least the follow-up damage will. 3 heroes down for Mineski. Arteezy limping away. The Urn and the Curse. He's going to end up ticking out in front of his own tier 3 tower. Mineski, they've got the power, but even with that power, a 3-3 trade-off is not what they're looking for. They need more. They're searching for Ninja Boogie, and they're going to kill him with the Death Pulse. He'll end up falling. Mineski lose 4 to EG's 3.
Yeah, huge fight. Mirana, there's just so much damage that's going around that they can't really avoid. Like Pugna War, they aren't able to really snipe early. And a big reason I think they lost the fight was because Global was not up. So they were doing a pretty good job in the first 20 minutes of like kind of fighting when Global was up every single time. But now they think they actually have enough items to fight them early on. So great hookshot. It's a problem when Jabs has as many items as your Pugna. He just follows them every time. 4 stabs, boom, just kill him. But yeah, like this is a really bad choke point for them to fight too. They have the high ground and Mineski aren't a choke. Jabs can't help but die. Maybe if he had a hood at some point, but like Mooney's like, you know, he's really low before the fight even starts. So the Reaper doesn't actually end up killing him, but he's just so low at that point that he ends up dying. And they almost didn't even get Arteezy here.
Yeah. Next fight's gonna be a lot harder. Like Samael, he lived through that entire thing. Like he ended up getting over like almost 1,200 gold for that fight. Did more damage than anybody else, and it's going to keep increasing. And he's going for a Radiance build, so got the pipe now, 2.7k towards the Relic. And EG want to kill, but they're looking in the wrong position. Mineski have gone towards Roshan.
This is because of Night Stalker's build. He actually went for a solo Chris after, and the Vlad's. Like, again, you usually don't expect this from Ice Ice Ice, so they don't think they can actually take Roche because normally you're like, okay, Ice Ice is probably with the Midas out farming somewhere, probably getting a Scepter maybe, so he can try and find AM in the trees, but that's actually not what's happening this game. So I do like to switch it from them. It's super easy, free Roche, kind of wasted smoke from EG, and they are getting a lot of damage on this tower, but
they're coming to defend it.
Yep.
You do have the Mana Style on Arteezy, but yeah, with Solar Crest up and running, even with the Butterflies up for Anti-Mage, this is still going to be problematic for Arteezy to survive. Where's that hook shot? Perfect. Catching at the Necro, 4 stars, already beginning jabs. Not a lot of mana to work with Global Silence. There's no real way EG can respond to this one. Arteezy wants to, looking for a target, and they have the damage, but it's coming in from Mushi. Universe, the #1 target every time from Mineski, and they get him every time. Crit will fall as well as EG. They're in full retreat. The silence is on Samael. This will be a nice kill for them to claim. Taking that streak, taking the fight after taking Roshan, and Fear will fall as well. 1 left up for Evil Geniuses. This is snowballing out of control. Lasted longer than game 1 at least.
Jabs is so good on this clock. Like he is just nailing these hook shots and just going in there and setting everything up for his team. Like his rotations have been on point, and you can see why Clockwork is just Pugna's downfall. Like Pugna can't itemize the way he normally wants to. Look at his items. He is so poor. Like normally Universe does not have a bad game. This is probably one of the worst games that we've seen. 0-5-3. His net worth is 5,000. Like that's really low. And even so, he has to build a cloak too. He obviously a 4-stat versus the clock, but normally you want Aether Lens and maybe like half Receptor by this point. But he just gets isolated in the fights. Even like a simple Cogs pushback can interrupt his life train. And if he gets battery assaulted or like trapped inside the Cogs, he is definitely dead.
Yeah. And the hilarious thing too is like EG was so confident with his pickup, they still took it in the first phase. But so was Mineski with their clockwork.
Yeah.
Like you can question it in game 1. We're like, is this really the... No question anymore. This is now respect to Mineski if anybody bans the clockwork in the first phase. And that's a horrible position to put yourself in.
I would say the silencer might be a bigger deal because he's able to hookshot in and not just instantly get decrep blasted and die because of the silencer. So it's kind of a dual thing, but still
they're coming up. Arteezy, 109, they'll jump up. They really want Arteezy. He doesn't have blink available. Hookshot jabs in once more. Cogs pushing him back. There's the silence coming off cooldown for Ice. Have they held him? Yes, they have. 72 seconds without Arteezy. Buyback is available, but this is not the money you want to spend on your core. He needs this for his butterfly. They'll get rid of the high ground vision, getting rid of that Observer Ward. But Mineski want to force this buyback.
There is no doubt in my mind that Jabs has been MVP so far in this game.
Well, unfortunately, we can't give him a Mercedes-Benz, but the mid lane's going to be pressured in.
Oh, interesting.
Tier 3 tower being chipped away.
Shadowblade. Shadowblade's unusual. I can see it makes sense on the Vend, but it's much more questionable on the Phantom. Regardless, they're still getting a lot of damage on the tower. 20 seconds left. It's not very long. Yeah,
Macro Pyre's on cooldown for like longer than that time. If they had it, they could defend this push easily. But Samael's losing so much mana, they may even have to burn the shrine soon, but they get the initiation to sight! Well, goodbye Mushi. You're down for 82 seconds. They don't have to use the AM buyback, but that mid tower has 32 HP. This is the sacrifice that EG had to make in order to make their anti-mage stay up in net worth. Words, language, there.
The Shadowblade. Why Shadowblade? I don't really think another item would have really saved him.
Maybe it's just so we can get into the back line.
Yeah, but
I guess it's the same thing as we saw from the CK, right? At least the same mentality.
Most of the time you'll see Blink over that on PL, or the thing is you already have Phantom Rush, so you can actually run into the fights, which is not a luxury that most carries can have.
Do you get any advantage from having then just the Silver Edge then?
That's what I thought he was going for, but he doesn't have it on his quick buy. He's
got Butterfly.
Yeah, so the Silver Edge could be pretty useful if you're trying to burst down the anti-mage, but they don't actually have that much magic to burst down the anti-mage. So yeah, I don't particularly like the Shadowblade pick. I don't really know what else I would build instead. Maybe Manta or Lincoln's even. Lincoln's might be okay. But really, they need a Glimmer Cape on their support. So if that happens, you get Glimmered and you're fine. Or you might not die.
But right now it supports, well, you don't want to buy it on the Silencer and the Clockwork's going for a BKB.
I would say I would prefer personally like a Pipe on the NS and a Glimmer on the Glimmer on the Silencer. Are
you asking Ice to be more sacrificial? He's already got Solar Crest if Vlad's an Urn.
Well, he's going for BKB. BKB's okay, but BKB's not... You can't kill people if you BKB because he doesn't have the damage. He doesn't have a damage build. He doesn't have like a Basher or you know, one of the normal damage builds on Night Stalker. Well, I say normal. It's not really a normal thing to do, but you just don't want anyone to die to the Reaper. And if you get BKB, it only protects you. What if your PL gets Reaper? Then he can't. He doesn't offer anything. That's why I prefer something that helps out the team a little bit more over an individual item. Especially with the way that he's been building, which has been completely team-oriented.
Well, okay. Yeah, okay. So the end result is the fact that PL now doesn't have enough to deal with the anti-mage, who is hitting his stride.
Well, that was always an issue, I would say. Even like before this game got kind of out of hand for EG, the PL is just not a good matchup. Like, you would have to go like a very, very different build. You need to go like a Butterfly Basher or something like that to deal with the anti-mage.
Is this what Blitz refers to as a free AM game?
There's some long duration silences, I would say. Like, you're going to have to Manta out of the global, and then Crippling Fear later on in the game is going to be a big issue. So I would say not a free AM game. It's a good core-on-core matchup, though, I will say. Very good core-on-core matchup.
Well, he's level 21, almost 22. He is 4.5k net worth in front of the other core, and after cleaning up one wave, now make that 5k. And he's going to have both BKB, Butterfly, Manta, Battle Fury, and still one extra slot available. And he'll finish all of this in the next 5 minutes, unless they can find pickoffs just like this. The cogs push back. Manta breaks free and blinks out. They do not have the control on him. And almost impossible to get the perfect silence timing after he mantis before he blinks.
Yeah, maybe they could have force-stabbed him into a second cog. That's far-fetched, but maybe the only way they could have killed him in that exact situation.
So do you get another lockdown? Like, you're getting MKB on the Mirana, the PL's going Butterfly, so you don't have a missile out from him or something along these lines?
He's going to need BKB on the PL, I think. Hard doesn't do jack versus a Necrophos, so you really do want a BKB. So maybe Butterfly BKB. I mean, does it really need Butterfly right now?
Okay, if you're going for all these items, though, doesn't that mean you just have to go high ground? There's just no other choice?
No, because AM's going to be 6-slotted. You can just wait for him to get 6-slotted and kind of peter out a little bit. He's going for BKB on anti-mage, so that's already 4 or 5 slots on him.
Well, EG's coming down the mid. They feel strong enough to fight this. Even if they are 8,000 gold and experience behind, they're going to push down the mid. Look to claim that tier 2 tower.
It's going to be a big problem if Arteezy gets the next Roche.
Put Nagus the Immortal on that.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I would say even just even if the Necrophos gets it with the Radiance, that's a big problem. There's going to be too much damage going on in the fights for Mineski to survive, unless they get their double pipe up.
Very cheeky Moon. He jumped in through the mid, took the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, that's a good play.
So it's gone. EG is having to wait for maximum spawn time on Roshan.
Which is bad, because nighttime's coming up pretty soon,
yeah.
And they have time to take out the shrines.
Arteezy will have time, though, to farm up his buyback. So now he's got the BKB, and he'll have buyback for the fight. But, yeah, as you said, the shrines are in jeopardy. So EG have to protect their one closest to Roshan if they want to use any kind of buybacks to defend Roshan. And here's our other items. BKB up for the Night Stalker.
BKB up on Clock, BKB up on AM. This Roche fight is going to be it. And Lincoln Sphere on Moran. I actually think I prefer the Lincoln Sphere on the PL2. But I guess he's more melee, so he's going to get destroyed by Decreb at any time. But
EG's going to try and fight before this. Charge forward onto the PL. Mushi just started his TP, so we won't have that anymore. Global Silence is down, so Doppelganger. Mushi trying to create more of himself to fight, and he's invisible. The Shadow Blade lets it run up into the trees, and they don't know where he's gone. They don't have detection. Mushi has gone northwest, but EG, they checked almost every other place but the tree that Mushi was hiding behind.
Global Silence MVP.
Item now value.
Well,
they had 3 sentries on Fear.
If he had a Lincoln, he would have also just been able to TP out, so.
That's supposed they had 3 sentries on Fear, and they had Dust on Crit.
I don't. Well, the thing about it does is if he doppelgangers, then
it dispels.
Yeah. So, yeah. I also don't know when it was purchased, but it looks like Radiance is coming up very, very soon.
Oh, EG can look for another opportunity. As you said, Roshan is up soon. It's in 12 seconds. Roshan will spawn. And already they're fishing with arrows.
This is a big one. AM could potentially end the game with his Aegis.
He can solo kill this Roshan as well.
He doesn't have lifesteal. It's not going to be a great Roche for them, because if he's isolated inside the pit, he can easily get arrowed.
They're charging forward. They're looking towards Ice. The charge should be able to connect. He pulls back out of it, however. It's just too much Mushi around Arteezy. Desperately trying to clear her off. Hook shot from Jabs. This time it's going to miss. Samael was left alone. EG moved further north to try and help out Arteezy and left Samael all by his little lonesome to keep the mid lane pressured out. But they really want to go in for Roshan. They've burnt their shrine already. And the Clockwork Rocket sees this very clearly, but no hook shot for 33 seconds. So they charge forward. They look for Mushi. This time the dust will hit after the doppelganger, before the doppelganger comes off cooldown. So they'll kill him off, and no buyback for Mushi. Looks like Mineski cannot contest this Roshan now. No global silence, no Mushi.
Shadowblade not value. Also, that observer ward on the high ground on the left side leading to the charge. Value observer.
Oh, Roshan is falling. 1200, the arrow from Mirana flies in. It hits onto Sumail. Ice Path making sure Aegis the Immortal ends in the hands of Anti-Mage. And now pass the cheese over to Sumail. And EG's coming down mid. They want a lane of racks. They want a game 3.
Bad time for Mineski. Firstly, I don't know what Mushi's doing over there. He's also just playing way too close to the cliffs and the tree lines versus a Spirit Breaker, which is not where you want to play at all.
They're going to lose Ice. Charge up on top. I suppose you do at least have the BKB, but his Hunter of the Night will wear off. Sumail moves over, and actually they're up too high. They won't dive onto the tier 2 tower for it.
Using a BKB to stall out for PL's res timer is a value play. That's a good 10-second usage right there. Look at where that creep wave is. So far away.
I'm sorry, can we get PGL to add now a new overlay? Merlini's value meter. How
Dude,
much value are we
value.
swinging at each side?
Shadowblade is pretty low on there. 10-second BKB value, pretty high.
Moon's creating space at the moment. Takes out the bottom shrine. Now has enough money if he wants to pick up his double javelins. But this is going to sacrifice his buyback if he wants to have that true hit.
Worth. He's not really in any danger. He only gets locked down by, what, Reaper and Spirit Breaker? I guess maybe Abyssal too, but Abyssal's not out yet. AM's getting closer there, so after he gets Abyssal, he's going to be 6-slotted. You can have some marginal upgrades like AC instead of Butterfly in case you're worried about True Strike, but they're all pretty marginal at that point. So he's getting too big for his own good soon. I don't think they're going to be able to do that much with they're pushing
They're
up
coming
high ground.
bottom.
This could be it.
Yeah, they're looking for that opportunity. Arteezy moves forward, still got the Aegis for a while. And they'll void, they'll silence. He's still got Mana Style if he wants to break free.
Wow, that is a lot of damage on him before
Yeah.
he even touches the T3.
Man, this is before like the illusions start coming out, start burning off his mana too. They just create more Mushis. Doppelganger to run forward. They're fishing with the arrows. Won't find the target.
So 2.5 minutes on Aegis. So they have, what, 5 waves, I would say, to do this? And all they need is a big Reaper hit on someone.
That's going to be difficult. Arteezy still ticking down from range harass. The damage from Moon.
Yeah.
He got 1 proc on the MKB.
That is why you buy MKB instead of waiting for buyback. Yes.
And they're leaving. They have Aegis the Immortal and EG are leaving. They have both Aegis and Cheese, and they refuse to go high ground for this.
Well, they know it's just way too risky.
Oh, Mineski. Arteezy's so close.
They
He'll
have
blink up there.
hook
Do they have vision?
Hook shot into Cog into Arrow.
Well, they
should
could
do
just
it.
walk in point blank
what?
range. Their sentry's up too far. Whoops. Well, there goes your Aegis the Immortal. As Mineski, they just want out. Triggering out the darkness. Vision's not going to be great. And Sumail walks directly to the arrow. Arteezy wants to try and find. BKB's up. Goes for the Mana Void. Minimal damage into Ninjabugi as well as Moon. But the fight continues. Fear's already dropped. And Arteezy, that BKB is wearing off. They're looking for another target. Universe being hunted the back lines by Mushi. Forcing the rest of EG to return and defend their partner, who's already down. But at least our Scythe execute Mushi.
Mushi, please.
He just wants the back line. He just wants the freebies.
Yeah, not with those items. Again, Shadowblade is just not the play.
It's like he believes he can run away, take the kill, just Shadowblade and run out.
Yeah, but Spirit Breaker destroys him. You have to be like ridiculously good with micro if you want to get away with this build. Like you have to just mind game them after mind game after mind game so that charge never gets on your real one. But he's not able to do that.
No. Not so
super
far.
next to me.
Like, even when we saw his illusion micro on the top lane, like, he
Yeah.
tried to do it twice to EG, and each time EG knew where to go. And life just got harder. A full Abyssal Blade is now completed on the anti-mage. He's almost 6 slotted.
Ice is much better at the mind games than because Mushi's not a Naga player, and I think Naga players have that tendency with the illusion micro to just next level people. And Ice loves Naga Siren.
I think it also helps the fact that Ice's brain is always tilted in a way you're not going to like expect.
Yeah. So
That
now-
guy's crazy.
He's very difficult to read. Anti-mage, 6 slots, BOTs, BOT2s, moon shards. Again, you're not getting great value in return on the gold that you're getting. So
Yeah.
the net worth is 5K in Mineski, but I would say it's like, 5K starts to turn into like 7K because EG's gold is not worth as much going into the future. And even moon shards later on, like, are you going to moon shard anyone else on your team? Like, he's going to reach his peak pretty soon.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker is the only one who could probably really utilize that moonshot.
That dude is not going to stay alive. And even so, he could just get Crippling Fear because Night Stalker's getting... You probably get level 25 this game with a minus 8-second Crippling Fear cooldown, so good luck dealing with the mischance. Because now, Anti-Mage is like, well, once my BKB silver, I need True Strike, so where's he going to fit MKB in? He's not going to get Bloodthorn. I don't think anyone on this team's going to get Bloodthorn, so now he has to worry about that, and then there's like the Solar Crest that he has to deal with. Like, there are a lot of issues coming out, I would say, soon for EG, and I would say that this next Aegis, if they don't get a T3 with this next Aegis, they're probably going to lose.
It looks like they're preparing for a smoke fight anyway.
Well, they need to. This is their time. This next 5-10 minutes is their time.
Well, currently they're still having to battle it out in darkness. It'll wear off in just a second. The target showcasing itself in mid, which is Moon. Arteezy will also show himself.
This DD could be a pretty big deal. Like, heroes can die super quickly because he doesn't have that much HP, and the butterfly evasion negated completely.
Oh. Okay, nope, not going to happen.
Good luck finding a fight against Night Stalker at nighttime.
Yeah.
And they have no Aegis, so like AM dies, you just lose all your momentum for the next 5-10 minutes. And that could easily happen with like darkness and arrow. Like, you sometimes just can't see it or react in time.
Oh, they got to look for that target once more. EG pushing over, but Mineski have both vision, high ground, full detection, clockwork locked up. Global silence is out. Arteezy will break free of it, thanks to his own Manta style. But where is the execution? They don't have vision. Once again, evil geniuses. They just can't see when that Moonlight Shadow burns.
There's no like slots for the heroes to carry stuff.
They're going to push down. Like, they're coming straight down the mid lane.
It's not. It's going to end in the same way as last time, where the Mirana's just going to right-click them down super easily.
Well, Arteezy can at least hunt a courier. That's got the Manta style of Moon on it.
Yeah, you can get a T2 as well. But, oh wait, no you can't, because the wave's all the way up there.
Oh, you should have enough damage by now, right, to fight the back door?
Do you really want to risk that? If he gets arrowed, you're in a really bad spot. He probably has to buy back at that point. Is that really worth taking like 1 minute to take out the T2?
Probably not, especially when you're still going to have to TP somebody down to the bottom lane. Like, directly after that fight happened, Moon just ran to the bot lane and pushed it out. So the momentum is already going the way of Mineski down there.
They do need some BOTs soon on EG's side to deal with these lanes.
Yeah.
Lanes are a big, big problem, because Mirana's free to push out because she has Link, and she knows Spearbreaker can't touch her right now. So they will be very patient and wait for this tower and wait for this next Roshan. It is a 2-minute respawn, post 8.
Well, Arteezy's coming in to probably chip away at the tier 3 tower, at least force Mineski to come home. That bottom lane didn't push anywhere near as fast as I thought it was going to.
Well, I really like Moon not being there at the fights because he's constantly looking for these runes. These DDs are huge in the fights. He's going to have a lot of uptime in these fights. They can't decrep everyone, and even so, he has defusals. So if AM gets a DD, on the other hand, that could really just destroy, like, he can just BKB and just destroy the towers. So it's really important that even if he doesn't get the runes himself, he at least takes them away from the opposite side. DD is the best rune right now for both sides.
Well, this is the reason why at the 40-minute mark we get more action runes, is to try and give us action. We've got 1 minute until Roshan's going to be up. As Mineski move forward, that shrine still exists. It's worth revealing yourselves to get rid of it if Roshan's be an extra critical area.
Is. They're also going to get the Arcane Rune Darkness.
Where's the TP's back? EG's making a beeline for that tier 3 tower. They can push pretty damn fast. A quick nether blast. Fortification is out. Mineski is rotating back over. Ice Guys can come through the rear on this one, but Arteezy takes the tier 3 tower, protected by Lotus Orb. So the lands forward. This is actually going to fly back. Mushi dodged it with Doppelganger as the Clockwork hooks in the back lines with the BKB up, but thanks to the Abyssal Blade, Ice almost down. 250 HP. Arteezy's committed in. He's got Mana Void available. He doesn't want to give up the chase, but now he has to. Turning his attention back over towards Moon. He's just bouncing from one target to the next. The Mana Void is out from Jazz. The cycle put him down. The True side is lost. EG fighting inside the base. This is exactly what they need. Clockwork, where's that buyback? He'll need to come back to the world of the living if they wanted to actually push EG back out of the base as Mushi under his tier 4 tower, still not feeling safe. Clockwork is now back up again. Hook shots up in 4 seconds time, and EG, all they want to do is bail. Crit's already starting his TP. I don't know if Samel's going to be as lucky. Fear trying to body block him, but Jabs knows the game. He's trying to catch up. He won't accept the sacrificial Spirit Cow. He's looking for something more. TP from Universe, he'll be successful, and the Ghost Shroud just delaying the inevitable here for Mr. S, who is now RIP'd.
Say
3 heroes down for a tier 3.
Say hello to double damage. She did twice as much damage as anyone else on her team, 5,200. Without the double damage, it's maybe like 3,000 damage, and that just brought down the anti-mage. It's also a little bit hard to see on Mirana because she's like naturally a little bit bluish. So I don't know if Arteezy was aware that Moon had the DD that fight.
Well, they're going to lose out really big. 3 heroes down. Yes, you got a buyback out, but it was on a Clockwork support. And you're going to lose both Aegis and Cheese to Mineski.
Yep. And Anti-Mage hasn't gotten any stronger. And he's going to substitute out the Butterfly for the AC again. Very marginal upgrade because, I mean, he needs it because of True Strike, but armor is just so-so, and his damage isn't going to be that great as a result.
Right now, he's going to need his buyback. Luckily, because Mineski did stop for Roshan, Anti-Mage will have that buyback. It won't be so lucky for Sumail. That mid-Rex is going down. Fortification's available. They let the range Rex fall. The melee, is it going to actually, fortified up. Smoke up so EG can get closer in position. The trip arrows are flying out. Won't connect on anybody, but the PL illusions are burning off Fierce mana. And even with the fortification, they do not defend the mid-racks. There was no other choice but to let it go.
This Linken's is making life so smooth for him. Normally he would just get blinked on and then get abyssal right there, but they had to wait for the Pugna to come in to crep him, and then by that time the Rex is already dead. That is value. That's a 10 on 10 on the value meter, whatever you want to call it.
The Merlini value meter is now maxing on value.
That's a great Linken's. I think if Mushi had a Linken's, this game would be a lot easier.
Oops. There's no way he could have seen that. No way at all. It came out of a tree and just whacked him in the face.
EG's timeline's really short. I think if Mineski gets the next Roche, it is pretty high, very, very high probability that they're going to win right now. Anti-Mage is, it's that sinking feeling is like, I'm not getting stronger, everyone else is getting stronger, and I also died last fight too, so you know that you're very mortal. You want, what? That's like 3 in the last 6 minutes for him. Again, he's just been checking the runes. A very important play, underrated, but I have to emphasize that it's super important that he's at the minimum taking away DDs from Anti-Mage, but more importantly getting it for himself.
The only thing that will make this higher on the Merlini value scale is if he actually bought that bottle at the 40-minute mark and it hasn't been holding it from the very beginning.
Dude, well, because he bought it at the beginning, it's like a 12 out of 10 now.
Max value. That is a lot of creeps up on top lane that Universe can at least soak up. This is big for him because it's going to give him his Aghanim Scepter. If the Courier can make the trip for him. That's if he also wants to sacrifice his buyback in order to have the Ags.
I don't think so at this point if you're EG. I don't think you can fight 4 strong.
Unless you can then just let Sumail sit on the front line, because they don't really have that front line tank. You could say it could be like one of the 2 supports who are insanely tanky, 2k and 1.7k.
No,
for a support, it's normally quite good, but they just don't have the life.
Good for you, Mushi. You bought a Linken Sphere. Great job.
He hasn't sold a Shadow Blade yet, though.
Well, I mean, you're not going to sell it. Not when you have slots.
No, he's being nice to his supports. I'm like, okay, his next item is a Tome of Knowledge.
So again, they have to lead in with this Decrep to pop the Lincolns and then Blink Abyssal, but they have to time it a little much better than that if they want to get a kill.
I really want to see what Mushi does with the Shadow Blade now.
What? He's just going to keep it until he replaces the cheese with... What does he replace cheese with?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, do you get the lockdown? Like, well, RTZ has it. Got the stun over on Moon, but Manda style dodge out. The global silence defense is there.
Oh, you know, as MVP, there's actually Ice. He managed to silence after the global silence came off with the Lotus Orb. That's how fast he was on it. He was about to get Reapered. Sumail was ready for that global, and he still wasn't able to do it.
Nice arrow catch, Fear. We're not going to chase that one in. He's underneath Shrine as well, so if they want to fight it, it would be pretty cocky. Almost everyone from EG has buyback available. Fear's the only one short by 400. Different story for Mineski.
Yeah, well, they're actually scared now because they actually executed on the Decrep into Blink Abyssal. So now, even with Aegis, you're like, I don't feel that great about it.
The smoke inch forward. They're right underneath the Radiant Absorber.
They don't have global. This is a great time for them to fight.
Yep, and they're going to find an opportunity. Mushi, hi! Lincoln's gonna break. He'll get through with the doppelganger. Nice hook shot forward. Crick getting caught. The nether ward is down. So it's not that easy for Mineski to fight here, especially once these BKBs wear off. But then when Jabs gets such a great cogging, maybe they can create enough space. Jabs is low. Gem of True Sight is lost once more. Clockwork's down for 100 seconds. Spirit Break will buy back into this fight. The Gem of True Sight still not recovered by anybody. Ice is looking for it. Mushi walks it and he'll end up grabbing it.
Ooh, and they bought back. Yikes.
Man, I can't believe they didn't actually grab the gem, and then Fear's like, screw it, I'm going to buy one myself if we can't pick up what is on the ground in front of our cores.
Well, they're too fat now. AM doesn't even have boots, dude. How do they have room for a gem?
Yeah.
He dropped his
yeah, you want to drop your Manta?
boots for AC.
Well, Arteezy this time gets the double damage rune.
A little bit scary, but they don't. Their lanes are never in a good spot.
And he's got no
zero
vision.
BOTs.
Like if you just want to look at the dire wards, they got one ward down on their bottom lane, like near where their shrine used to be, and it's affected by darkness.
Yep, doesn't matter. Have darkness. You can see 3 trees. Woohoo! 0 out of 10 value.
I swear. Can we please make it?
So he's going hard on PL anyways, despite there being Necrophos. I mean, it's not great, it's not awful. It's just there's no great item for him right here. Like Abyssal's okay, but it's not that defensive. Scotty is okay, but you're still gonna have problems with dealing with the True Strike. So I think Heart is the best item if you're just gonna spam lances and throw him at supports. So because RTZ still doesn't have True Strike, so he's gonna have a lot of issues dealing with it. It's just not so great versus Necrophos. Necrophos probably needs it, like. He needs more Reapers.
Yeah.
But he can't, like, he's also just worried about dying, too.
Is it still worthwhile going in for the Academics, like, this late into the game? For Necro?
He needs a cooldown reduction, I would say.
Yeah.
It's important
but then
him.
you got to give up something.
I think you give up your pipe. Like, what magic damage is there for him right now? What magic damage is he taking?
He'll still need to get the BT so they can deal first with a split push and defend their base.
Yeah, I think BOTs
so that's fine.
BOTs into Scepter, I think, would be my choice for him.
Yeah.
You can also go Refresher, but Refreshers, I would prefer Scepter. It's just more reliable.
Yeah.
Kind of throw him out.
It's a shame he can't have like extra item slots for himself. Like if you consume your Scepter, new activatable, like the 40-minute runes to give us like action moments. Once you hit 60, certain items can be consumed.
Well, remember the last time we added in Ags can be consumed. That led to the Alchemist phase, which everybody hates. So I don't think we're going to get that.
I don't know if I really hated that phase, actually.
Well, you are a special guy, Toby.
Yeah, thank you, Malini. Thank you.
Special.
We'll use the nice definition of special this time around.
You are unique, sir.
Unique, yeah, I like unique. Unique is better.
Eccentric.
I like that word, actually. Eccentric is a wonderful word.
Eccentric
the one which you never want to be described as is interesting. Like that movie was interesting.
Well, if you pause like that and give it the... It was
Interesting.
If you pause, yeah, it's gonna be negative. But if you're like, oh, you're very interesting, that's not bad. It's all in the connotation, man.
How many times do you hear people use the word interesting in a positive way?
Yeah, it's like probably like 9-1, but
it's a lot different with me. It's always a word of derision.
and there's also a lot. What else is there? Yeah, there's your mental. Mental can be good or bad, I guess, but it's usually bad.
Mental on my side is always pretty good.
You've gone mental is always bad though.
Yeah. Well, then you're nuts. Off the rails. Small issues.
Not liking EG's chances here.
See, I'm still sitting on the other side of the fence going, hey, you know what? If EG defend from base with buybacks and they can get a good scythe kill
No,
and just have Mineski down for a while, like...
that's the only thing you can rely on though, because AM is it's past his time. His time to destroy people is like 30 to 45, and it's 56 minutes now, so it's kind of well past that phase.
True.
And I think that Mineski have been playing very well around the Reapers. They have multiple BKBs. The global silences have come out like right when he's about to cast it, probably during mid-cast animation a lot. They have multiple Lincoln Spheres too, so he can't really cast it very early on in the fights.
But pushing into this, like, yeah, I agree with you. Mineski's team fights have been absolutely superb throughout this entire series, but you're still going high ground against evil geniuses. Like last time it was easier because you had dead heroes on EG when they tried to come out and tried to fight. But if EG can get a better position against them, you're still gonna have two cores doing more work. Yeah,
Better position. You're playing against Night Stalker, dude.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there is no better position.
There is no better position.
Hey, this is the point where I'm being Mr. Positive. It's an interesting draft, where they can
It's
where
not
they
a
can
bad
win.
draft. The Necrophos died too many times, and then they didn't have their two cores hitting their peak at the same time. He went for Radiance, and then he had like Radiance plus like one or two other items at like 35-40 when AM really wants to be pushing high ground. And the Mirana got two farms. She had that MKB at that critical moment on bottom when AM had Aegis. That if she did not have MKB there, possibly could have been EG victory already.
Note to the item to this in the quick buy of the animation. It's going MKB. What do you even switch out for this?
Probably Battle Fury.
Like, do you switch out Battle Fury, or do you just say, like, oh, I burned my BKB and I switch the items mid-fight?
Actually, it could be Manta. Because
But you still need to break free of the silence and everything else being thrown at you.
Well, if you're tanky enough, you can just stand there. The Crippling Fear mischance doesn't matter if you have MKB. It might not be that bad. I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying...
It's an option.
It's an option.
It's an interesting choice.
You could also switch out Butterfly.
Maybe, but that's his own move. That's the only movement speed he's really got to work with at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to TP himself to bottom lane anyway, so that's easy. We'll continue the spree, and we'll get our answer anyway. That's all EG have to do is keep the creep wave out of their base and then look for a good fight, while Mineski, all they want to do is look for a good fight, and the creep waves will push themselves in.
Yeah, I think you just drop the BKB when you're farming out waves, for sure. I don't know about team fights. Yeah, you might just BKB and then immediately swap to MKB in a team fight.
Looks like EG's grouping up once more for another smoke.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Well, you do have two aggressive wards. They're not inside the base, however. One sitting on the top lane, and the other one's on that hill on the bottom lane. So EG can be watched as far as the side lanes go. Oh, look, Blink Dagger.
They just need one good Reaper. Ideally on Mirana, I would say. Because Mirana has the MKB, so she's far more likely to kill the anti-mage.
You're still going to try and find a way to get that damage in while fighting around Lincoln Sphere.
All it takes is just one slight misstep from him, though.
Well, it could happen. Roshan's popping up in a second. And EG will want to pop in and grab that if it's possible.
Nah, they have Rocket Flare, dude.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you got Rocket Flare and you got Night Stalker.
And you have PL Illusions to also be super annoying inside the pit. So I don't think they're going to get it for free. And Mineski are just waiting for nighttime.
Man.
Oh, the double damage.
The arrows.
Okay, nope, no double damage.
All of them going to miss. Invis Rune is to be taken from Necro, and it's a haste rune for Mushi on bottom.
Everyone's looking for that double damage. Where is it?
You need to get the double rune. Like, you hold on to the double damage until the next rune's going to spawn up and boom, boom.
That would be ideal.
It would be ideal.
So let's see. Roshan is up. Flair's already in there.
Yeah.
Arteezy going to start.
Okay.
Ooh.
So doing it while Vision is
Spicy.
still up, and well, I don't think he's really got another choice. They know they need the... Well, actually, do they even need the Aegis Immortal? He doesn't have a slot for it unless he drops the mana style.
No, but it makes Reaper a lot more valuable when there's no Aegis on the table.
That is true. Arrows fly forward. EG dodging it perfectly. Roshan's falling quickly. 2.8k. Here comes the Moonlight Shadow. Push forward. Global Silence is up. Hasn't been burned yet. The hook shot right into the back lines. The perfect hit. The crit able to walk away. Roshan still licking his wounds, but EG got what they want. Pull him out of the fight and scythe down Mushi without losing any heroes. Arteezy is keeping the rest of Mineski pretty well occupied, burning up the mana. The arrow will connect. 3 seconds on the stun. A quick force up. Buying space for Arteezy. Now he turns around and attacks. Burns off all the mana on Ice. Mana Void's available. It won't be enough for a kill. They've lost Fear. Crit still low. The silence is doing its work for the moment. And Arteezy, the Lotus or Trigger won't matter when Moon just is cannoning down all of EG. Ultra kill for the Marana, who needs no DD. Moon has just done it. This arrow can connect as well, which it won't do so. The 4-star pushes Universe far enough away. They'll go back in, bringing down Roshan. Side less effective. Moon now has the Aegis Immortal. A quick lance up. Fear is slowed. But EG is on retreat.
They should have given the Aegis to Mushi, because Mushi doesn't have buyback. And then Moon should have taken the cheese. I don't really think there was any real risk of EG going in there at that point, but still, there is the opportunity for EG to win if they kill Mushi one more time.
Yeah, that's 7-minute buyback status cooldown with the... What would it actually end up being now? Like, it's going to be almost like shy of like the 2.5 minutes?
I would
if he
say
gets hit by Scythe?
If he gets hit by Scythe, I would say it's even longer. So this fight is really weird because it splits up into two. Great hookshot coming out. Arteezy's keeping everyone else busy. Mushi doesn't have BKB. He's at like half health. He comes out of Invis and just dies. He gets Reapered and he's just put in the grave for 130 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Arteezy has all the fun.
He only has so many cooldowns though. He's gonna get hit by Crippling Fear after Crippling Fear after Crippling Fear. Eventually his Manta's down and he's just gonna be like they have a Lotus on him to take off the next one and then he just gets silenced again. GG.
It's when he almost needs to have something fly back the other way. It's like, give him an Aghanim Scepter, but he doesn't want to have that. Here comes the Moonlight Shadow. Mineski looking for an easy way up. Arteezy switched out the Battle Fury into MKB, so he's in combat mode for now. Not great for the clearance, but that's where he's got Fear. Wonderful Ice Path and Macro Pyre. They cannot keep him controlled in position. Arrows fly forward, 5-second stun onto Universe, but Mineski still unable to go up. The mid lane is being pushed in, so Mal will have to move over to deal with this. Buyback's only available for Pugner at the moment, so Universe, the only one that can be brought back to life. But he's the man that can also give life with that life drain. Triggers off the Lincoln Sphere, trying to keep Moon low, and now they're actually chaining their Lincolns out. Mushi is giving protection to Moon.
I would say that's about even.
Oh, another good arrow.
Yeah.
Both Arteezy and Universe hit by that one.
They traded Global for BKBs, so when BKBs cool down, they have to back out, which is going to be pretty soon. Looks like just 10 seconds left.
They burned through 3 Lincolns on Moon, and now the drain, the damage! That's quick, that's fast, but that's Aegis. They need more. Arteezy looking for the Invisible Blade hit, but the timing! Jabs is in with the clockwork, a perfect hook shot, but the target was already 4-staffed away. Moon will end up falling. Arteezy with huge amount of money, because yeah, he needs it. Looking for more into the corner on the kill on Jabs. A 4-star up starts to TP, but instantly bashed. 2 heroes down for Mineski. They'll have to fall back, EG. The lanes are being pressured. PL went bottom. And the mid lane's already being pressured in by the bigger creeps.
Yep, they have really good ways of breaking Lincolns from afar, especially now that Pugna finally has his good items, the cast range and the
Aghanims and Ether Lens together.
Yeah, so he can just like he forced that from super far away. Decrep, Life Drain. He could pop all 3 Lincolns. Or do they have 3? It's only 2, right?
He had 3 protections. I think they got like the
3.
double charge of it at the timing of it.
Oh, Jabs actually sold his Midas. Oh no, he sold his Midas for a Lincoln Sphere. But he can just Life Drain, Life Drain, Life Drain, and there goes your Lincoln Sphere, so... Luckily for Mineski, Moon did not get Reapered.
Okay. I was just wondering if we'd actually pull out of that or not with Arteezy nearby. Can they actually force the buyback on the Mirana? Do you even do
no.
it? Like, do you even accept the fact like your mid-racks may die to Arteezy?
You do not sacrifice the Mirana playback for this. 20 seconds is just...
Yeah. I suppose you got fortification too, so there is enough defense here for Mineski.
I mean, T3 doesn't really matter. Their shrine's already down, so who cares? You sacrifice T3, you even sacrifice your melee point. Mirana's buyback is far too important for that.
Well, Mirana uses her money anyway. We'll pick up BTs. Has the level 2 diffuser blade done and Moonshard into the quick buy. And that will be a fully 6-slotted Mirana, apart from BTs too, but she's kind of got everything she's looking for.
I think now they probably need a split push when they're doing the racks. They have the BOTs.
Oh, Mirana walking into this one. They got to trigger the Lincoln Spear quickly, and the stuns! Mirana, Mana Star, leap away! Moon needed to survive this and is able to do so. Mushi was in the back lines. He'll also bail out. That dire Observe Ward of EG, their first real aggressive ward in a long time, and it saw it coming from a mile away.
Where's the Night Stalker scouting out for them?
Hiding in base.
Yeah, he needs to be up out in the front because he's a Night Stalker after all. He doesn't have room for a gem though, so that's kind of a problem. I guess Jabs has a gem, so it's not that big a deal.
Now he's building into Abyssal. He's looking for his own control.
Well, he has good damage talents. He has the 15 and the 20 to damage and attack speed, so it's natural for them to transition, especially at this point in the game. Crippling Fear cooldown is just way better than armor.
Yeah, he's got 4 seconds cooldown on Crippling Fear.
Yeah, you can
For
have
something which has a night duration of 8 seconds.
Yeah, so you just constantly want to spam it on the AM.
There's your second level of BTs now on Samel. He is not saving any money at all, and rightly so. His buyback's on cooldown for another 2 minutes. But he's short by 2,000. 2 minutes for 2,000 gold? Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, Dagon 5 coming out soon for him.
Yeah.
That's big.
Right now he's on level 2, however.
Where the glimmers at, yo?
Protection.
Where the glimmers?
I see a Halberd over on crit. That's a nice thing if he can close the distance on Mirana.
Goes for breaking Lincolns.
Yep. Break Lincolns, get disarm. That's what he needs to have happen. Just Nether Strike into Halberd on the Mirana, and you're removing a huge portion of the damage of Mineski. But Mineski, look for their target. There's a couple of AMs moving around. The smoke doesn't break, so they know they're fake. A quick Moonlight Shadow, and that one's real. Forstaff can't get Samel out far enough, and the secondary one, that will, however, out of the cogs of Jabs. As the Moonlight Shadow Darkness lineup of Mineski run forward. They need to catch up to Evil Genius's Mushi. The Lancer's out with Diffuser Blade. Necro in trouble, but Ghost Shroud plus Lursault breaks it free. The Scythe falling down on the head, but it will not be enough damage. So Scythe on cooldown, more arrows fly out. Fearless play, catch, no Universe will do it instead. But EG are back to the safety of their home, if you can call that safety.
Burn a cheese, yuck. Not great for them. Diffusal charges this late in the game too are looking pretty healthy actually. They just both upgraded Diffusal too.
Oh, they were saving those for a long time.
DD, get the DD.
Looking for the initiation on mid.
Oh yeah, there's no Reaper I guess for them, so it's still a little risky, I would say.
The arrows fly once more. Don't find their target. They look towards Mushi. Samel having a little bit of trouble. Arteezy copying a couple of procs on that MKB. Problematic, and Clockwork's got hook shot. Up he jumps, catches two. The Cogs, it pushes back the Animage. He'll break free of the Global Silence with that Mana Style. More arrows flying up. They won't hit their marks. Forstaffs and EG run away.
Global used.
Yep.
Staggering cooldowns. Just need a big arrow to connect. All these force stats are causing issues though.
This is an interesting time for this to happen because Roshan's about to spawn again.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to be a minute and a half away, but that's almost the same time as Global Silence. And EG will smoke up. They're not going to let Roshan go uncontested, but both sides are looking for it. Easier for Mineski to look, but we're also in daytime and there's no darkness. 35 seconds on cooldown. Clockwork, Lincoln breaks pretty quickly, and then it's going to drain him out. The Nether Strike pushing him back, disarmed as well, and that's going to be a Reaper Scythe kill. 130 seconds without a Clockwork. He'll spawn up. just after Roshan has. And goodbye, Dire Courier.
Nice chicken snipe. Just a play mail, but it's super annoying this late in the game.
Especially when it's for poor little Fear. That was his Lotus.
Oh, yeah. Damn. So 150 GPM talent. Woo. That's nice. I was like, how does he have so many items?
Playing the catch-up game. Top net worth still obviously belongs to Arteezy, but it's all very ineffective net worth.
Yep. They also have GPM talent on crit too, so at least they're spreading the love a little bit. Who do I mean by they?
I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't know.
It's like the royal we. Wait, hang on. All right, not the gems being purchased. I suppose while it's available, may as well. You've got the money, Mushi. Looking at a lot more conventional 6-slotted PL item build.
Still no great solution to deal with the 4 staffs though. Clockwork can only do so much, and now that there's like what 3, 4, 5, 4.
Oh, they lost their Observer War, but maybe they can get the gem. Ice just tickling into crit. The arrow will hit onto Arteezy from Moon. So no easy way for EG just to push straight in. But Roshan is now up and available. No way for EG to just easily move back and scout this. And they're looking for something else. Mid lane pushes in so they can attack through the top. Maybe they can force the buyback out from a Clockwork. Fortification is up for Mineski, and there's a lot of defense on the high ground. So yeah, they can't force Jack. They have to back out here. Arteezy very low on mana. The other problem, the PL Illusion's just running at him all the time. And Mushi, he ain't backing out of it. More and more lances will fly, so will the arrows. A nice stun onto Samel. Protection has to be there.
And that's how you buy 30 seconds time for Clockwork to revive.
Yeah. And now EG have to look for something else. No double damage room for them. They'll find the Arcane in the top river. But the Clockwork rocket scouts out that Roshan is up, so Mineski know before EG know. But we're approaching maximum spawn time anyway, so Evil Geniuses will be aware that Roshan's alive. And here comes the rocket once more.
Not as good as a Scepter, but still
70-second
good.
cooldown Scythe. The Mantra Illusions. Oh, sorry, just the Illusion Rune, sorry, from PL. Helps out a little bit. Nice arrow,
three in a row. Such is life.
That's because his dad never played catch with him. He has to play catch with the arrows. Well, Arteezy. We've seen this happen once before, where he starts up Roshan, trying to force out a fight. And he's going to continue until Mineski will oblige. For now, copping another arrow to the face. They forced him up and out of the pit. Well, where's the target? Samel pushes forward with the Shiva's Guard, tries to slow up. The Global Silence is out, but Moon, he's already fallen down. The issue is Samel's caught in no man's land. 2 minutes on the sideline. Jakira will join him. Does Samel want to bite back to contest Roshan? The answer is yes. BT's level 2. He'll jump forward and instantly catches the arrow from Moon. Universe, he's trapped on the back line, starts his own TP to escape from Mushi, but they want Samel. He'll be huge if they can bring him down. But Arteezy, he needs to also do some serious lifting. Crit's running out of mana. That is up to the big hitter. Can Arteezy do it? He is bone dry on mana and he's bone dry on HP. He'll fight back too. EG throwing everything into the ring. They've got almost nothing left. The only one who hasn't bought back is the partner. Samel's on the run far north, but he's on heavy pursuits. Universe, give the man life. Drain it into him if you can possibly do it. He's draining it out of Ninja Boogie to Arteezy. The mana voice build damage is high. You'll find one, the 4-star, so he can blink forward and try and keep up with Moon. The movement speed from the leap, it's high, but the blink is back off cooldown. Close, which one's real? Now he knows the BTs. It's PL coming back to the fight on top of Ninja Boogie, who's going to get bashed up, and the horn shot into the arrow. They hit the target. Arteezy's in trouble. Glimmer, protect him, force him, blink. He doesn't have the mana. Once again, there's nothing in the tank. Arteezy needs movement. He'll have to grab a fight. It's buying time. Diffuser Blade will burn up. Arteezy starts the fight. Universe can't give him enough life. Arteezy's down for over 2 minutes. Universe joins him in the afterlife, and Crit, he is so far from safety. He'll end up going down too with the lances flying forward. EG is starting their buybacks, but do they have enough to defend this? It is a tall Electropire to hold them off. That top tower, which can be brought down thanks to mid creep wave, it's already pushed in. They go in deep. Mushi, he wants the target. He wants the mail. They'll be priority number one if they can get close to it. All buybacks from EG have been expended. The top ranks has been destroyed. Jabs doesn't have his hook shot, and for now, it looks like Mineski will back up, but you know they're rotating bottom.
One set of Rex left. A full minute left of 3 on 5 at worst.
Here they come. Arrows. No one cops it from EG. They get the Lincoln's trigger over on Jabs. I hope Samael, he's looking for it. There's your sign. Jabs will end up falling, but Samael, not going to be worth it when he has to give his life for that support Clockwork who can just buy back. And GG, well played. Mineski will take the game. They'll guarantee TI points as well as a spot in the semi-finals of the PGL Minor.
Well, Clockwork carried the first 30 minutes of the game, and then Rana, I think, just really did so much in that last half of the game. And a little bit of different role coming out from the Night Stalker, but when you need Night Stalker as your offlaner, Ice certainly delivered, helped out his team. Mushi didn't really like the Shadow Blade, but still played pretty well in that latter half of the game. It is such a terrifying experience playing against the Reaper Scythe, and they handle the pressure admirably.
Yeah, they really, really did. That's a scary thing for any teams coming up against Mineski. The Clockwork players were positioning, the supports were so great, but it's the fact that it felt like they were able to run like 3 perfect controlling supports. And I'm counting Ice in this mix-up as well. Like, Vision was fantastic. The silences timing, as you were mentioning from Ninja Boogie, I kind of want to highlight that one even more. It's one of those things like, oh, where was the silence's real effect? You don't see him doing damage. You don't see him doing a lot of stuns. You're never going to really see his name called out in the fights. All you say is global silence, and that is it.
I tried to say his name as much as I could.
Yeah, you were trying to give as much credit for the... Yeah, you're giving as much credit as you possibly can for the global silence. But Mineski, very, very deserving of the victory. They can enjoy their day off. And that is going to end our day. But, of course, we'll be back with the panel in just a bit.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
What a great way to end day number 2 of the PGL Open in Bucharest with a fabulous game between Mineski and Evil Geniuses. Mineski coming through 2-0 in the end. They do make their way through to the semi-finals to join LGD from Group A. Tomorrow, of course, we'll see all 4 elimination matches. Before we get there, we've got some sleep to get in, and we thought we'd wrap up the final game of the day back with our panel members Fogged and Winter once more. Great game to finish things off. Really enjoyable. I know your hands were sweating at the end of that game. Like, you weren't even playing in it.
I mean, it was really exciting. I was sitting next to SVG, like the EG coach. He was kind of silent for the majority of the game, but it's not because of like anything. It's Mineski just played incredibly well. Like, I'm very impressed with the way that they've been improving. Jabs is honestly crushing it every single game. His clockwork is absolutely amazing. Ice as well, and Ninja Boogie. Like, how do you have only 2 deaths on a silencer that game? I'm like looking at like the stat.
Yeah, no, you're
like,
pouring over
really
it. Well, we're going to
absorbing
watch some of the replays. Because there were just so many highlights in here on both sides. It has to be said. That's why it was such a good game, because there was that constant threat of Arteezy. Whenever he was around, they were very circumspect about him. Once he got very beefy, they would decide, look, okay, we need to be really careful. And they played around him so well.
Shadowblade PL. Dude, they won with Shadowblade PL. they actually won against EG with a Shadowblade PL.
You still can't get over that, can you?
What? He sold his Shadowblade for a dagger, so,
yeah.
you know, I think he realized.
Does it not count?
But still, he actually didn't die one time because he had Shadowblade and the enemy didn't have detection. I mean, I've never seen anyone build Shadowblade.
What do you have now?
And it won a game, so.
I mean, the guy buys Blade Mail at what his Medusa build. That was like, this is not even the weirdest thing I've seen from him. The Medusa build where he had Aghanim's Blade Mail and Hex.
That was the one at Starlighter, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, what is happening? What is happening? And the same thing today. I saw a Shadowblade PL. I was watching beside a friend and he was like, oh, PL has Shadowblade. I was like, huh? PL has Shadowblade? Is he serious?
But it worked. It sort of worked.
Well, it was a lot of things.
Yeah.
There was a lot of individual plays coming out. I think there was a lot of fights where you can look at it and break it down in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
We see like cheese usages coming out from Ice Ice Ice. This fight in particular, the DD rune from the Mirana, just really started kicking.
I mean, he did like 6k damage in the middle of this fight.
How many DD runes did he get in the game?
He got like 3 within 6 minutes, I think it was that Ben was saying, in like just back to back pretty much. But there was some clutch cheese usages in the Roche area by Ice Ice Ice, so they kept that silence, reapplying it to Arteezy, and that's what actually brought him down in some of those instances.
I mean, some of these fights, Winter, were so close at times, weren't they? Both on both sides, where you thought, oh wow, they've got EG on the run, and then suddenly EG got some health, they got some position, and then suddenly they come back into the fight, and that surprises Mineski, and then they get caught out, and then they have a teammate come back in and help them, and then they're on the offense, and it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but you could see in this game why Night Stalker is like a top pick in the meta. When he reached so late into the game, how many times do you see that Mineski won the engage or they got a better engage because they just have better vision with the darkness, the NS.
This is the one where he uses cheese, turns around, gets another silence out in a second. Arteezy stays to man up for a bit, but gets re-silenced again from that Crippling Fear cooldown. I
mean, this is at the point, I think Ben said in the commentary, you know, it's like 60 minutes, like, he's lost his window now of domination. It's gone, so he can't be as effective and as terrorizing as he was 20 minutes before that.
Because AM already reached his peak, and the reason why we always see PLs losing to AM is because AM farms a lot faster. You hit your peak and you end the game. But this game, it wasn't the case. The AM couldn't end the game. So the PL was allowed to catch up, and those, like the level 25 Mirana, it was just so difficult for them to fight. Anytime in a team fight, arrow connecting on 2 heroes.
I mean, we haven't mentioned Moon very much, but what a game from him.
He played incredibly
well. He landed
so
many good arrows, and his itemization that game, he went for like full damage, no BKB. He had no BKB that game. The balls on that guy, he knew he needed to be the guy doing the damage because Mushi on the PR wouldn't be able to do so much. He's like more like the distraction up front with the Night Stalker. Both of them are going to take the attention away from the Mirana, and Mirana has to be that glass cannon hero in this game.
He did 44,000 damage.
And 17-3-11 for Moon.
His early game, the early game arrows were so on point.
They were, weren't they? They were really a joy to watch. When you know how hard they are to land from a distance as well. There was one on the bottom lane where I don't know, he knew there was a guy down there.
The first one,
it was like about 4 minutes in, and it was such a good arrow.
Arteezy was like getting He has no boots. He was rushing his battle
Yep.
fury. Mushi teleported top to pressure. He teleported bottom. He went bottom to farm with no boots, almost battle fury, and he just got
He
hit,
literally landed
got
in
the
it.
arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was going to the creeps to
stun.
farm, and
Full stun.
bam, 5 seconds.
500 gold from I think the broadsword to finish the battle fury and
Yeah.
dies. So
That
there-
was a very, very big kill in
Yep.
the early game.
Yeah, it
So
was
big.
fantastic. Fantastic set of arrows. He was also our MVP as well. So I think that's pretty much deserved. You've made the point that Jabs has had a great series again. He got our MVP in the first game, so I think he might have been a potential MVP for the second one as well.
Yeah, I think Nana though, like we can give it to him just because he carried the game, right?
Mm.
Jab's set up for that, but that's his job as a support. And
Don't
we
forget.
gotta give Nana some
Don't
credit.
forget how difficult he had in the lanes. He actually got trash in the lane.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
he did that in the game.
I mean, the second half, you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known that he'd had a rough first half of the game. So, yeah, fantastic result. Let's take a look at the bracket and show you how things have panned out. In Group B, we've had 3 matches today, of course. 2 left in both of the groups. Earlier on today, we saw both of the games go all the way to the wire. Neville Genesis coming through 2-1 against VGJ Thunder, and Navi going down in 3 to Mineski. That's how we ended up into this upper bracket final. Mineski now moving on to the semi-finals with LGD already from yesterday. EG will now drop down and wait to see who they play. And those elimination matches are coming up tomorrow. 4 best of 3s tomorrow, gents.
Fun day, fun day.
Fun
It's gonna
day.
be fun.
Elimination day is always the fun day.
Because every game matters now. Every game from here on in. Like, something happens, a team goes home or a team advances.
Today was a long day, and I feel like it may have today might have actually been longer than tomorrow
Maybe.
will be. Even though we had we have less series, we had
Yeah.
two 80-minute plus, or almost 80-minute plus games.
Been a fun day. Highlights for you?
Highlights for me, I think, this series.
Yeah.
I was really, really surprised by
I mean, that
how
last game as well.
yeah, I was very surprised by how well Mineski played, and very surprised how they were able to beat the anti-mage with the PL. So yeah, that game was my highlight today.
Yeah.
Massive, just the massive improvements from Mineski overall. I would say, yeah.
Good stuff. Good to watch as well. Thank you very much, gents. We are at the end of our second day here at the PGL Open Bucharest. I hope you've enjoyed the Dota 2 so far. I've absolutely loved it. It's been fantastic. Can't wait for the next 2 days when things get very serious indeed. We'll back tomorrow for 4 best of 3s, and every single match counts. We'll see you then.